Buenos días, queridos amigos y fieles colaboradores.
Greetings, dear friends and faithful supporters. This is Kent Albright, who, along with my wife, Belen, wish to thank you for making possible our ministry to Western Spain since 1989. You'll remember from our other reports the pictures, the landscapes, the folk dances, sports figures, and foods that the picturesque country of Spain evokes with its 46 million souls. Over time, you've read about so many of our cultural eccentricities and unique oddities that characterize our people in our progress reports and our email updates for the last 30 years.
But this time, we would like to share with you a potpourri of pictures from different events and activities that we have been pleased to organize and participate in. Some sights and scenes that God has allowed us to be part of during the last few months and years. You will see some of many changed lives and trained servants of Christ that you have invested in, and for which you will receive eternal rewards in heaven.
Though we both had responded to God's call to serve full-time in Spain in our youth, Belen having been saved in her native Madrid, we arrived at the invitation of Baptist Mid-Mission missionaries to help teach and direct the budding Bible Institute in the city of Torrejon. This we did for our first term, but since then directed most of our efforts beginning the Tormes Evangelical Baptist Church in the city of Salamanca, seat of the oldest university in the country, but with only 2 small churches that were preaching the unadulterated gospel of Christ. God blessed as the 4 of us began sharing the light of life to the religiously darkened people of this city and its surrounding bedroom villages. Little by little, the spark ignited flames of recognition that this Jesus that hung on so many crucifixes was indeed the lover of their hearts and the only way to heaven. In 1999, with your help, we purchased our corner storefront church building, a former restaurant dining room.
With 3 single men and our family, we organized the church in the year 2000. We continue growing with new believers being added to this church, souls saved and baptized, special evangelistic activities, youth rallies, college, campus outreaches, and of course, leadership training for vocational and lay servants in the church.
Through the years, we have seen so many lives transformed by God's amazing grace that even some of the inmates at the prison where I led Bible studies would eventually become members of the church, the men preachers of the gospel themselves. Many others, such as university students, would find Christ, find training in the church's teaching programs, and return as brands on fire, helping new ministries start in their corner of Spain or the world. In February of this year, we reached the milestone of 20 years of church life, still as the only Baptist church in our city of 250,000. During this same period, we have helped 5 other churches to start by those who at one time had been members of our own church. Several of our former young people are serving in the ministry full-time both in Spain and abroad.
Our hearts still ache for 346,000 villages in our province alone. They have no Bible preaching church at all, much without even one single professing believer.
So many activities and outreaches have taken place that it would be impossible to detail or describe them all, such as our yearly international fiesta, the welcome fair of the university, mother-daughter banquets, Bible expositions, regional youth rallies, mission trips with our young people, our yearly missions month, Christmas cantatas, summer children and youth camps, ladies' meetings, quarterly regional men's meetings, vacation Bible school, street evangelism and tract distribution, a weekly radio program, retreats for men, women, youth, and married couples. The list would just go on and on.
However, one fundamental element of our ministry has been discipleship. We require everyone who wants to become a member to be discipled and trained to become a discipler.
This 2-level program has helped so many correct wrong doctrine and even zealously religious, unsaved people find Christ as their only and sufficient Savior.
But as our two daughters had married and began their own families, both of them and their husbands serving in a new Star church plants, we found ourselves approaching the final chapter of our full-time after service.
It is for these final goals that we wish to enlist your prayer. First, that God would supply the right man and his family to take the pastorate of the Salamanca Church and lead it to even further heights for the Lord. The building is small, but it is paid for and has an average attendance of 60 to 70 people. Secondly, we would like to help the church begin new mission works in the larger towns of our province that have no Bible studies or places of worship.
There are at least 5 of these which we are targeting now: Alba de Tormes, Alberca, Peñaranda, Ciudad Rodrigo, and Vitigudino.
Thirdly, we would like to share a word about our Bible Institute or seminary. We call our Bible school a seminary for cultural reasons, though it is essentially a 4-year Bible college level training program. During the last year and a half, we have offered for the first time ever intensive theology and Bible exposition classes to our core workers, vocational seminary students, and students from 3 other nearby Baptist churches. This has not only accelerated our vocational training program, but has caused us to see the need of offering more classes utilizing national pastors, teachers, and some missionaries. God has provided the use of an old Anglican church building whose congregation was forced to immigrate during the harsh persecutions of the Franco dictatorship.
Dear Christians friends in Switzerland allowed us to use this facility, which also include another building for dormitories.
The essentials are here for modular theological training and even year-round residential studies at some time in the future. Please pray that God would prosper in these 3 vital areas of ministry that would leave energetic, visionary congregations and a training center for Western Spain entirely in the hands of national Spaniards.
It has been a pleasure and joy to have been an extension of your family and your church here in our front lines of the spiritual battle for souls in Spain. It has truly been the fulfillment of a lifelong dream.
We have been honored, humbled, and even awestruck by so many gifts and expressions of heartfelt partnership these many years. But our tasks are not complete yet. Please help us finish our course with the tools and the resources we still need. Friends, there is so much more to do. Please pray for more young laborers for this needy harvest field of Spain,
the most gospel-starved and least evangelized Spanish-speaking country in the world.